It's another edition of the Way Out Here podcast presented by Washed Up Network. And hey, we figured this out this week. There are over 50% of you who are listening right now, right this second, that don't subscribe to the podcast. If you're listening right now, pause this, go subscribe, go rate, review, and then you can watch our show. We're on YouTube as well, so you can always watch the full episodes on YouTube, but we want to make sure you are subscribed so you get notifications every time that we are up on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But we got a great show for you guys today. We had a great UFC live stream last Saturday that was incredible. The fights didn't really match up to what the hype was, but it still was a good card. The undercard was awesome. But UFC 251, guys, what was the best thing that you guys saw from UFC 251?
You win in that bet with Prochaska. That was my favorite.
Yeah, baby.
Honestly, I think that was probably my favorite part of that whole night was like, we don't even know who this guy is. He's like literally the fight before the main card. So he's like still the free fight. So everybody's watching him. Yeah. And it's his debut against the number 7 ranked welterweight in the world.
Didn't know that at all going in.
No. And we're just like, Clayton's like, nope, full bet. Let's just do it. We're going to – this is the guy we're going with. And he shows up, man, and like the first round, this guy was on some like kung fu headed kind of weird crap going on, man. He was all over the place. He was throwing all sorts of weird crap, but
he was the guy that yelled before the match. He's the guy that like licked his glove. Like I was all in on him once he was doing the crazy stuff. I don't know how you beat that guy unless you like inject him with something that's gonna like take him off meth or something. I don't know.
You gotta hit that guy in the neck with a dart or something. You know that guy is a danger. That guy's wild. But he ended up winning performance of the night too, which is even funnier. Like this dude's debut was just like so good, and then his interview afterwards was just like it was so hard to follow. It was like when you go talk to somebody that's been drinking like all day, and you're like trying to have a conversation, and it's just like they're talking in like half sentences, and it's just taking forever. Like it was crazy, but it was cool. That was probably my favorite part of the night, but.
Yeah, so backstory to that is like we probably watched there was a record number. I swear there was a record number of fights that went all 5 rounds or all 3 rounds. It was so strange. I have never seen everybody go the distance almost every single time. And so I think we watched like 4 in a row that were left up to the judges. And then this one I was like, you know what? Guys, tell me who to bet on. Like, we're betting on this guy, and we're going full send. So it ended up being Prochaska. He comes out, and I was scared initially because the guy he fought was a tank. And I was like, there's no chance this guy is going to win. And he was getting beat all fight long. And randomly he hit like an uppercut on this dude. And we went bananas on the live stream. It was awesome.
It was the most wild hit I've ever – dude, he got so lucky. He got
so lucky.
And he slept him. Like, he didn't even, like, knock him out. And, like, he slept that dude with that random shot. Can you imagine being Ozdemir? Just be like, what the fuck just happened to me? Like,
I was beating him for literally 15 minutes, and this guy sleeps me in, like, 10 seconds just doing some, like, random – I think he got hit with a knee, and so he was back on his heels and then just got slept. So that sucked. But I don't know. There was the undercard didn't disappoint. I mean, Thug Rose, she did well. I can't believe that she went the distance too. She was beat up, dude. Her nose, I've never seen somebody's nose look like that ever in my entire life.
Yeah, dude, she was throwing hard. They both were. That was a really good fight. The chick fights were always solid. Rebus versus Van Zant was short-lived, but Rebus is a animal. Like,
she's scary, dude.
She is scary, bro.
That whole 115-pound division, because that has Joanna in it too, and it has the Swedish girl that fought for the belt. I don't know if she still has it or not right now, but that whole 115 division is just got some killers in it. They are scary people.
So what is Amanda Nunes? What is her weight?
145.
Oh, okay. So I was gonna say like Rebus and Nunes have kind of the same style. Like obviously Nunes is like a stone cold killer, but like Rebus has that just no quit like attitude where she's just a brawler. So I can see, them. I don't know. Maybe if she gains 30 pounds and wants to get her ass beat on the main card, maybe she does that. But I think it's in her best interest. It's like I can't gain weight. I don't want to face her. Like I don't know.
There's no way. That's such a big weight jump. It'd be cool though.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be cool something to think about. But yeah, Amanda holds the weight championship. She holds the belts in 35 and 45. I think there's only 3 classes for the girls. They have like I can't remember the names, but it's like featherweight, and then it would be bantamweight. I think it's 35, and then featherweight is 45. So yeah, so I don't know. It'd be cool. Rebus is a straight savage, though. That chick's gonna definitely be a contender for the belt, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. And then we have to talk about the main card, the main event, Masvidal Usman. It didn't live up to the hype that we gave it. I mean, Usman basically just like sat on Masvidal for 5 rounds, but you know, there were moments where you thought Masvidal was going to do something wild, and he was trying. Like he knew he was behind that whole fight, and he knew he was gonna if it was left up to the judges, he was gonna lose that fight. But I mean, he threw some punches where it was like, like something could happen, because every time he swings, something crazy can go down. Like he's just that guy. He's that dude.
Even when he missed, dude, like the velocity at his arm was going, like would take somebody's head clean the fuck off their shoulders. Like you could tell, like every time, because Usman just played it smart. Usman knows that Masvidal's coming off of a 6-day notice, just dropped 20 pounds to make this fight, has had no camp leading up to this. He probably has not been eating great. I'm just gonna, he probably.
Didn't he stop? Somebody said he stopped in Italy to grab a pizza on the way to the fight. So that just shows you that he was just like super unprepared.
I mean, how prepared could you be for the world championship fight? But if anyone's more deserving of it, it's definitely him. Like Colby was the guy behind him that should have got it, and he already had his chance, and he got his jaw snapped off by Usman. So, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, Usman just played it smart, just wrestled him, was like gonna wear him out. But every time you did see Masvidal come off the cage and just his arms were just swing, like if any one of those connected just a little bit on Usman, he probably would have been lights out. 100%. Usman was just smart. He knew he's like, I'm going to take an easy dub, not going to get beat up, and we're just going to wrestle. And that's what he did. And that's how, that's how a lot of those guys stay in the game forever too. Is just
it felt like both of them ended up pretty well, because they didn't. I mean, it's not like they both broke a bunch of bones and can't fight or anything. So both of them ended up super super fine and like healthy. So and then the other one, the Holloway fight. That I can't believe Holloway lost. Honestly, that was so damn close. So damn close.
That's the weird thing about the scoring for MMA is just so off. Because they use the same scoring tactics as like boxing, and it's not the same thing. It's completely different. So they don't account for like the way that they score takedowns, and then they score like the dominance of the octagon, and then they score like other things that just like wouldn't really make a huge difference in a fight. Like if somebody gets a takedown, okay, well, if they're doing jiu-jitsu, if you're on your back, you still can choke somebody out, you still can score points. Right. It's not like wrestling. Like wrestling, if you get taken down, obviously guy that took you down gets the 2 points, but jiu-jitsu is different. So I don't know, the scoring just kind of makes it a little wonky. And I think that's why they looked at Alex's third round, because that's what made it. Because the first 2 rounds, 100% Holloway was just taking him to the freaking cage.
I mean, the first round was like so lopsided.
Yeah.
So lopsided.
Yeah. And then you could kind of see third round, it just looked like Alex was kind of running the middle of the octagon a lot better. And he was definitely getting just better timing and shots on him. And then fourth and fifth round, that's where Holloway definitely did lose it. So that third round is what made that difference. And I think the judges just kind of, I don't know, a lot of people disagreed with them too. Like everybody said that fight should have went the other way, but I mean, what are you going to do at this point? The guy already lost the belt, and Alex is now the man at 145 to beat.
Yeah. So I think somebody said it perfect on Twitter. It was like, could you imagine telling either one of these guys that they lost that fight? I mean, dude, both of them, that was such a crazy good fight for both of them. Yeah. If it went the other way and Holloway won that fight, you could have probably said the same exact things we're saying now about Volkan. Like he controlled the ring. I mean, I think we looked this up. Holloway had like 15, 16 more strikes than Volkan, but Volkan had like a minute and a half more control of the ring than Holloway. So like it's just great. Like you said, it's just graded differently. So, I mean, I feel like it's like the Twitter post said, it's so hard to tell somebody they lost that fight because it was such a damn good fight. But
It's true. Yeah.
it was just not those like casual fan fights that people like to see, that people get knocked out in the first round or anything. Like it was legit like a UFC all 5 rounds, left it up to the judges type thing. So, but
I mean, everybody loves seeing a knockout, but when you get people that are like too good, you know what I mean? It's just they're not gonna try to like risk it to lose a belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes those championship fights are either like knocked out first round or they go all 5. Like it's so up in the air.
Yeah.
That's why those undercard fights were so good, because they had nothing on the line. Francesca's coming out like a freaking monkey out of a cage, just like swinging at this dude. Like it was cool. So I mean,
I love it.
Yeah, and Rose, I mean, her fight wasn't even a title fight either, and that was probably one of the best fights on that main card. So I think I think the pressure kind of puts it on those guys that are like, we're gonna try to like not die because we want to keep the belt.
I think what UFC also has going for them, they have the coolest nicknames ever. Like Masvidal, the nickname of Street Jesus. I mean, come on, that's amazing. And then Thug Rose, that's incredible. Like dude, you don't get that anywhere.
She deserves
else.
that name though. She does. If anyone's gonna have that name, it is her. She's a badass.
Yeah,
Thug Rose is mean.
Dude, I love watching her fight. She just had she's a stone cold killer. I mean, she got hit in the face more times than I could even count, and she just still stood up there. Bloody nose, everything. Her nose was literally inside her.
She didn't back down at all. She just kept going at this girl's face and just swinging. Oh, dude, it was good. It was a good fight. Those were good fights. Yeah.
Couldn't even imagine. Switching gears a little bit, we've kind of dabbled into this show on Netflix, but Zac Efron has a new show. It's called Down to Earth. And he's just literally, it's a travel show about this. I forget this guy's name that he met, but he met this guy in LA and he's been traveling the world, and Netflix is now doing a documentary about it. But it's super interesting. They're in Iceland for the first episode. And I mean, what a life Zac Efron is leading right now. He's good looking. He has a travel show. He's basically doing whatever he wants. And on top of it all, he's just like a cool dude. That sucks. That sucks for the rest of us.
How do you compete with that?
I mean, people that are like, marry me, Zac Efron's like, I get it. Mm-hmm. You know,
it's so funny you say that, because I was literally watching it today, like after we were talking about it, and I was like, God damn, Zac Efron is freaking gorgeous. Like, are you kidding me?
As a very pretty man, that's for
sure. Dude, I was just sitting there like, now I understand why girls have always been like, Zac Efron is super hot. I was like, damn, he's hot. Like, I get it. I'm with you, honey. Like, let's go.
Dude, what's unfair about this too, like on top of all the things we already said, is he had it when he was like 16. The High School Musical, like he was a heartthrob when everybody was like grown up. And then early 20s, he did Neighbors with Seth Rogen, and so he was like
good movie.
Such a good movie. So he was like a high school heartthrob for everybody. Then he had like that college movie that everybody loved, and now he's getting into like his 30s, and he's still that dude. I mean, what a run he's on right now. It may never end. He might throw a perfect game in his life. Like, this is a perfect game.
It's just like what's that guy's name? Oh, why can't I think of his name? Tom Cruise.
Oh yeah.
Just beautiful. He's beautiful.
Brad Pitt's the same way.
Yeah,
Brad Pitt, like, they just don't age.
Keanu Reeves, they look the same as they did like 35 years ago.
Stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think Zac Efron's ever gonna die. Actually, Zac Efron is going to be like the best looking like grandpa ever. And the problem is he's only like 5-6 years older than us, and that's gonna suck. Like, he's gonna haunt us all our lives. Our lives. It's just gonna be a cloud hanging over. Like, hey, you may be doing, maybe we get in like the best shape of our life, but hey, you're not Zac Efron. So it's just this cloud.
That's the other thing, dude. When he got into that ice bath, I was like, damn.
Dude, yeah, he's still jacked.
I was like, good Lord.
Yeah, I was like, are you serious? Like, can you just stop?
Can you just like put on 60
seconds?
pounds, please?
Bitch. Like, how about he struggles something? He needs like an alcoholism, like addiction or something. Like, just a run, just like give me 6 months of like a struggle piece. I don't know. But remember when he did Baywatch? And he was like, dude, people were like, his workouts for Baywatch were stupid, man. Like, stupid. And I remember him doing an interview after. He's like, I never want to be in that good a shape ever again. And then I see him go into the ice bath in the
Dude.
show. I'm like, oh, bummer, dude. Like,
Yeah.
you're not that guy anymore.
Don't want
Sucks
to
to
be
be
in that
you.
shape. Yeah, holy shit.
Yeah.
I would love to be
Jeez.
your out of shape. Good Lord.
Yeah, bro. He looks like he can run a half marathon backwards.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus.
Yeah, for
Crazy.
real.
But
For real.
yeah, show's super good though. On top of Zac Efron just being a killer, Down to Earth is a pretty good show. I've only watched like the first 2 episodes, but it's interesting.
Yeah,
as
it's
hell.
actually
Like
it is.
Iceland being a country that has zero waste, it's like all backed by renewable energy, which is I feel like Iceland, not to discredit them, but it's kind of cheating. I mean, they have like volcanoes, and then they also have obviously ice.
Yeah.
And so they have all of the natural resources you ever need.
You got hot,
have
cold,
a sustainable
pressure at all times. So
that was
yeah.
a super funny thing when I was watching that, and Zac Efron was talking about how the U.S. has all these different, like fossil fuels and everything like that. Dude, I looked up the population of Iceland versus Spokane County.
Oh, yeah.
Spokane County has 200,000 more people than Iceland.
God.
So put
See,
that combined to the U.S.
What are you supposed to do with that?
Yeah.
Sorry, we don't have these those like hot springs everywhere we go, and we can dig up 6 inches underneath the ground and boil our food.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Also,
Like,
remember
kidding
that
me?
huge tank that they're like I think it was 4,200 megawatts.
Yeah,
could-
so powers 45,000 homes.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
there's only 45,000 homes in Iceland. You don't need
Yeah,
anything more than
seriously,
that.
though.
So
Yeah,
I was like, I feel like that's cheating. You got so many natural resources, which is awesome for your country. Super
Yeah,
happy
super
for you
cool.
guys. And then you have, 0.0001% of the population the United States has.
Literally.
There's such a big discrepancy where I'm very happy for them, and I'm sure we can learn a lot from them, but
Absolutely.
they have a cheat code in Iceland.
Yeah.
It's just a straight up cheat code. So I'm sorry that an active volcano isn't like 7 minutes from my house that I can go grab like boiling water from, bring it back, and like have dinner. That's just not going to happen for me. So
natural hot springs to heat up the road so you don't have to shovel the snow
Yes,
off.
that was so
dude,
cool.
so crazy.
I was like, who the fuck does that? That's bougie as shit, man.
For real though, literally it was. So if you guys haven't watched the show, they have this, it's volcanic like gravel basically.
Yeah,
So
it's like sand.
It's like sand, and they take it from the base of the volcano, and then they put it in their driveways, so it heats up the driveways, so they don't have to shovel snow, which it's Iceland, so there's going to be snow, and so they never have to shovel because they have heated gravel. That's crazy.
It's insane.
Good
It's
Lord.
just a cheat code. But Iceland it actually looks they made it look a lot more fun to visit than I could imagine. So
Dude, I was thinking
Yes.
about it too. Once you say that, and I was like, it'd be kind of fun to go there now, actually, and stay
Yeah.
at that hotel that they were showing with like that
seriously.
big hot spring in it. Ooh, that'd be fun.
Honestly, just like we said, like the natural resources there, just to
It's
visit and
insane.
see all that, it's so
yeah.
cool. It's definitely a unique place on Earth that you don't get everywhere. So it'd be interesting to go there. But all right, next topic, we have the Redskins are changing their name. So the Washington Redskins NFL team, they just announced today that they are going to change their name from the Redskins. They haven't chosen a name yet, but there was outcry. I think Amazon stopped selling their gear on Amazon. Target stopped selling their gear with outcries of them changing their name, being like offensive to Native American culture and things like that. So actually, and like whatever your position is on this, they have some sick names that they might name the Redskins instead. So whatever your position is, hold on until we tell you these names that might come about, because you might change your mind right now. So for one, they might change it to the Red Wolves.
Love.
10 out of 10 there. The Red Tails, still sick. And then the Warriors. I feel
like it's
indifferent.
like the same almost.
Yeah, actually. I mean, who knows? In 20 years, the Warriors might have to change their name again. Warriors might be like coming out as
No.
like, who knows?
Okay, listen. All right, listen. I understand the Redskins thing, But if we're gonna start doing cancel culture on fucking Warriors, like this is just gonna get just
The way 2020 is going,
that's
you
too-
never
that's
know.
too much.
Yeah,
man.
actually.
Like that's literally like a descriptive word. Like Redskins, like I'm like
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
I
Sure.
get it.
I get it.
I get it. Warriors, like, okay, grow the fuck up. All right. Every culture has had warriors. Okay. They've been called warriors, Hans, samurais, freaking knights, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I just
My biggest gripe against Warriors, it's not like anti-Semitic or anything. It's just like a lame name to name a team.
100% lame ass.
that-
What? Yeah, it's Red Tails, and what's the other one?
Red Tails and Red Wolves. Dude, we'll post the logo for the Red Wolves. I mean, they're sick.
It was sweet. I saw that.
Actually,
Dude,
I think
cool.
Red Wolves. Red Wolves kind of sounds.
Dude, so
Red Tails kind of sounds weird. Red Tails kind of sounds like
a fox.
I can imagine their jerseys would be super lame too, because they just have like red on their ass and just like have super lame jerseys in the
Can you
NFL.
imagine if they all just came out with like tails, like just like prop tails that they get from like the Halloween store, just like the little elastic band with a tail hanging off the end?
I can see some NFL players doing that for like celebrations. They it's actually in their jockstrap for like 90% of the game. They throw a touchdown and they like whip out the red tail. I mean, just an idea, but
I put it in the front. It'd be
I think
hilarious.
are we unanimous here? I think red.
Matt just starts dying. Oh my god.
I think we're unanimous though.
shit.
I think Red Wolves is going to win this.
Yeah,
I'm actually-
too.
Red
I'm
Bull.
actually curious
Wolves?
to see what they actually changed the name to, because their owner, Dan Schneider, he like sucks. He's like the worst owner
He's
in all
awful.
of sports. So he's probably going to name them the Warriors or something super lame, you know. So we'll have to see, but I'm excited for the name change. It honestly just new uniforms and new helmets and all of that stuff. Next is equally as crazy. Kanye is officially running in the 2020 election. So Kanye 2020, Chance the Rapper came out today and said he endorsed Kanye. They have a connection because they're both from Chicago. So they have a little bit of a history there. But what do you guys think are the chances that Kanye even gets even remotely close to the actual ballots?
He might get on it, but it's not.
I feel like it's harder than people think to get on a ballot, like a like general election ballot.
Yeah.
I don't know what the percentage is, but you have to pull something, and I don't know if Kanye is going to be able to.
I don't think that's gonna happen. I think it's
I
more
don't
just a
either.
hype thing.
Yeah.
I think it's just because Elon and Kanye were hanging out, and then Kanye's like, I bet I could run for president. Elon's like, fuck, I'll give you money. I got money to spare, dude. Like, I'm gonna sell a couple Teslas. We'll give you some backing. I don't
Dude,
know.
and now they can do whatever they want because Tesla their stock is like through the roof. They've gone up like 90% within the last 3 months. So Elon's got that bread right now that he can just use
That's
whenever.
insane.
That's
Give
unreal.
Elon money when it comes election time, not great for the U.S. Because he's just going to throw it around wherever he wants. But,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I'm curious to see.
Hey!
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 All right, Trinity
All right,
Glidewell's 21st birthday. We're doing birthday shots on the pod here. Live. This is live, straight up. That looks bad. Is that
Oh.
tequila?
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
No, I want to burn. I want to feel the pain. Nope, get out of here.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Live shots on the pod. This is amazing.
Can't wait 2 minutes.
He said come down
Oh,
there.
is everybody coming in? What the fuck's going on in here?
We're having a Glidewell team meeting here. Glidewell team
I
meeting.
already got my own shit.
You're bringing me whiskey now?
Well, yeah,
Oh,
that was the
all right.
point. Only.
All right. We got Tegan
good
Glidewell
people
on the
take
pod.
whiskey shots.
All right, taking here. Hold on.
We got
Taking
Tegan Glidewell on the pod. It's Trinity's
Oh.
21st birthday.
Yes,
it
it
is.
is.
How scared are you for her and her boyfriend's well-being tonight?
Pretty scared. I don't know if he's gonna be trying to be on the same level as Trinity, or if he's gonna try to babysit. So we're gonna find out what happens.
Hey, yeah,
it's gonna
yeah.
be pretty wild. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know what the hell she's gonna be doing.
We'll do some live tweeting. Maybe we'll get some updates from the Glidewell clan. Do we have any plans on where they're going tonight?
They talked about going down to downtown Coeur d'Alene.
Okay.
Uh,
Coeur d'Alene's open too, right? Because Idaho.
I believe Coeur d'Alene's still open, and so yeah, they're going to be having a good time. I'm going to join them for a little bit. I still got
That
to go
looks
to work.
very empty. Tegan, when did you start drinking this bottle? This looks very empty.
Well, we had it a little bit last weekend, and needless to say, I had it with my girlfriend's brother, and he ended up on the grass puking. So it's all right. It just didn't end well for him. It was fine for me.
We were talking about Zac Efron's run, but the Glidewell run right now. You guys are on fire.
Well,
Jeez. You guys are on like a 4-day run here.
Oh my.
Did you just take a chaser?
Yeah. No,
Why?
because it's
Oh, all right. Great times from the Glidewell clan.
getting
You guys
fucking
really,
lit.
so you guys had people over for the UFC fights. Speaking
Yeah.
of the UFC fights, how did that whole party go?
I think it went good. It was good. Yep. It was
Is
good
that
stuff.
when
I mean, I wasn't here, so you know what I mean. Like, I was with Matt, obviously, because we were doing the stream. But as far as I know, nobody blacked out and threw up in the lawn. So technically, it's pretty good. So as long as everybody can walk to their car, we're good.
we're gonna mark that as a W in the win column. That's fine for us. But I asked Tegan this, but on a scale of like 1 to 10, how freaked out are you about Trinity tonight?
About 6.9.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dog,
Like,
that-
this is the thing. So me and Trinity are more similar than me and Tegan. So like, as far as like going and like partying, like Tegan is super smart and just kind of like, Tegan will drink and he like finds his limit. Even like the first time he got drunk, he like found his limit. He's like, that's it. That's as far as I go.
Wow.
Forever and ever and ever. Me and Trinity, it's like, well, let's
Straight
see how
up
much
discipline.
farther we can just go. Like, just a little bit more. I wonder if I could take like just 2 more shots if I black out. And then you like, it didn't work out that time. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be good. It'll be fun. I'll be watching her, obviously. So, I mean, it'll be decent.
Hey, I saw the tequila out. Tequila is always red flag number 1.
My heart feels so good right now.
Yeah, it just warms it up a little bit. Warms
I feel
up
like
the
I got like a gravity blanket over my heart right now.
One of those weighted blankets.
Yeah, dude.
It's comforting your anxiety right now.
Buddy, yeah, that's the way to do it.
All right, last topic that we have before one whack thing, the cake videos. I don't know why I'm obsessed with these cake videos. I love these cake videos.
Well, first of all, okay, where are you finding these videos? Because I swear, every time I'm logging onto Twitter, it's Clayton, and it's just, look at this cake video. And it's like dudes pulling out potatoes and ripping them half, and it's a cake.
I don't know
one guy
what
the hand
side of the internet I entered, but I can't get out of it. Because on Twitter, all my feed is people is people cutting real things and they turn into a cake. So they cut White Claws, they cut actual like cups of glass, they cut, like water bottles, whatever it is, it turns into a cake. So now I have a complex that every video I watch, I don't think it's real until the end because I think somebody's going to like cut something and it's going to be a cake. I have like cake complex. It's ridiculous.
But those cakes are so well like baked.
It looks so
like,
real.
They're so good, and you're like, oh, that's weird. And then the knife goes through it. You're like, whoa,
dude. The hand.
You're like, oh.
The best one we talked about a pre-show, but the best one is that it was an arm. It was an arm cake, and it was a tatted arm, and the hand was tatted as well.
Yeah.
And it basically, like the beginning of the feed or the video, it shows the hand out, and they just chop it. And then they spread it apart, and it's a cake. So at the beginning, you're thinking you're just watching somebody's hand get chopped off.
Yeah. Just went 0 to 100 like super quick, and then you're like, oh, it's a cake. It's a cake. All right,
I just don't know where during coronavirus people decided that this was their lane, like their vertical. It's like, this is my calling. I've been at home for 3 months. I'm going to start doing realistic cake videos.
Dude, Corona's bringing out the fucking best in people right now.
It's really unreal.
It's
the creativity is an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
Also, shout out to our boy Andrew. If you guys saw Andrew's video on Instagram or even TikTok, he got 750,000 views on TikTok today on his cornhole video. It was crazy.
Woo, attaboy. Let's
Dude,
go.
He gained like 5,000 followers within the amount of like 8 hours today.
Holy
He
shit.
texted us this morning. He was like, dude, I have 11,000 views. This is blowing up. This is crazy. I checked back. It had 650,000 at like 4 p.m. I was like, dude, I think you're a little bit more than 11,000 now.
Dude, that's
crazy.
Real.
Insane. But yeah, shout out Andrew for going viral on TikTok today.
Attaboy. Way to
Good
go.
for him. But and yeah, that caps our topics. The cake videos cap our topics here. We're going into segments now. We got one whack thing, everybody's favorite part of the podcast. One whack thing. Let's see. Taylor, do you want to start? You're going to start it off with a bang here.
Oh, baby. So we're going to throw it back pre-corona days to the Tiger King. The Tiger King is back in the news, people.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it's haunted, bitch. There's some shit going down at the Tiger King's place, and it's weird. So, give me 1 second.
So the backstory to this too is Carol Baskin bought the Tiger King or whatever his name. They bought his zoo. Or they didn't even buy it. It got foreclosed, and they owed Carol Baskin money. So by proxy, they own his zoo now.
Yes. So Jeff Lowe was the one that essentially basically took over the Tiger King Zoo, and it went bankrupt because Jeff Lowe is a piece of garbage, and Carol Baskin, who's basically a step below a piece of garbage, bought this place. But anyways, so this story came out actually today, like literally 5 hours ago. And during the episode recording of the popular show Ghost Adventures, they actually decided they had gotten like some signals and readings from this nearby pond that's in the Tiger King Zoo.
Of course.
So they had called the sheriff's department. Sheriff's department showed up with cadaver dogs that sniff out dead bodies. And during their search, they ended up going to this pond, and they found what they say is they found small pieces of animals that are tailless. So I'm going to chalk that up as dead bodies, and we're going to call that Carol Baskin's husband. But the thing is this just came out 5 hours ago. Okay. So there's not going to be a solid report on what is in that pond. All we know is basically that pond's being sift through, and even if those cadaver dogs didn't find it in the pond, something is going on in that compound. You know what I mean?
So, oh gosh, I have so many questions on this.
Dude,
because
is so deep.
I mean, it could be a new dead person that Carol Baskin just wanted to kill, and then on top of that, it could be that the police in Florida were hot on the trail because. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the Jeff Lowe, that place was in Oklahoma, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So the new one he bought,
yeah. So I mean, it could be that Carol Baskin felt a lot of heat coming, and they might raid her place or something and find her husband. Mm-hmm. She had to move that body or move the decomposition or move something, and so she throws this decomposed bones into this pond, and they're gonna find tailless things. Oh, lots of questions. Carol Baskin is. I feel there's just where there's smoke, there's fire, and
it's such a good
there's
time
something
for this to
going
come
on
back.
with him.
I'm so excited.
Goodness.
So excited. If this isn't the best time for this fucking story to come out right now, it is literally right now. It's right now. So excited for this. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But Jeff Lowe also made a comment as a PS, was like, oh, it was probably the wind that the cadaver dogs picked up on a scent. It's like, all right, how many dead bodies do you know hanging around that Tiger King Zoo? What
the
is
wind? What do you bury them in the next parcel next to you? The wind blew it over to our place because I know they kill people. So I mean, I hate Carol Baskin so much, but at the same time, she's provided me so much entertainment value. I almost want to tip my cap to her. Thank you. Thank you, Carol Baskin.
Fucking Baskin.
Yeah, Carol Baskin. Killed her husband. Whacked him.
Oh, dude, that song will be forever cemented in everybody's brain.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, it has 50 billion plays on TikTok, so it's never going away. Nope. Never. Matt, what's your one whack thing?
My one whack thing came today from my microwave, and that was my day-old French fries. Why are French fries never good after a day? It just makes me so frustrated because I had
Ugh.
the tweet yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna get some cheese munchers from Flamin' Joe's and some waffle fries. Well, unfortunately, Flamin' Joe's went through some changes, I guess, on their menu, and you can't buy cheese curds separately anymore, which pisses me off. So I ended up getting a burger, and I couldn't eat all of that. I mean, I could, but it's beach season, trying to watch my weight here.
Got revenge bod.
Exactly.
Oh fuck! My bad. Oh dude, that caught me off guard a little bit. That was fucking funny. Holy shit! Revenge bod. All right,
We're saying it. I'm leaving that in the pod too.
Okay, that's fine.
Fuck yeah, full send. All right, let's go.
So, yeah, so I couldn't eat all that. So I ended up just putting the French fries. I had like one or two, and I just put them away. And I was like, man, these French fries sound really good today. And I had fry sauce with them. So of course, so good. Heated them up. They just tasted like shit. Unfortunately, I was super bummed.
Put them in the microwave?
Yeah, our oven's currently broken.
Oh,
but either way, even reheated French fries never taste the same.
I was making an excuse for the French fries, but there's no excuse.
Hell no.
I'm gonna piss everybody off even more because you guys know Hannah loves to talk about fries. Fries actually at Chick-fil-A and other companies that they provided fries for, the fries actually are bad or not at peak taste after 7 minutes. So they have to be eaten 7 minutes after they're fried, or else they start losing their taste, the salt, all of that.
Oh, dude, that makes so much sense.
It does though. It makes sense.
Have you ever have you ever gone to McDonald's and they're like, hey,
no, never been.
That's not what I'm saying. When you show up and they're like, hey, we need to make a fresh batch of fries. Can you wait a minute? You're like, fuck yeah, I can wait a minute.
Yeah, I can wait a few minutes.
Yeah, the fresh fries are
dude,
peak fries. McDonald's has literally the best fries on this planet. I'm dead ass serious.
And the company that Hannah worked for provides McDonald's fries. So that makes total sense. So McDonald's is way more anal about it than any other company. Chick-fil-A they don't really care. If it's past 6 minutes, they know that the fries are not going to be as good. They just know their waffle fries are best, so they're just whatever, here, have them. But McDonald's is anal about making a new batch literally every 7 minutes.
I don't know. I've had a couple bad experiences with McDonald's French fries where they're just overcooked.
Yeah, sometimes you get. Have you ever had that one at the bottom of the bag that just looks like, I don't know, black almost? Yeah,
it's literally. It's all brown and soggy and floppy.
F minus McDonald's. Terrible.
Yeah. But that is whack. Miss. But that's the best thing I ever hear when I roll to McDonald's. We're gonna make a fresh batch of fries. Oh fuck yeah.
That's a sext.
Yeah, that's a sext.
All right. My one whack thing is so eBay, the employees were getting bad reviews in their support system. They were getting people that were angry at them, people that were upset about packages not being delivered, things like that. So a couple of employees took it upon themselves to send obscene messages, and then the obscene messages, everybody can deal with a few FUs from the eBay employees, I guess. But on top of that, they were mailing the customers live insects and Halloween masks featuring bloody pig faces.
That's insane.
That is so ballsy.
That is so over the top just for eBay.
How angry do you have to be as an employee to be I hate this customer so much, I'm going to send them a bloody pig face mask?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. If you've ever worked in retail, there's some people that I would be like, I'm going to hand you 3 or 4 of these bad boys because you suck ass. I could understand the anger, but the amount of effort that you would have to put into that is so over the top. I think that's something you would just talk about, but I don't know.
You talk about it, but never actually do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so the people that were doing it obviously at eBay got fired, but it's a criminal complaint now because it was harassment, and they were apparently the
fair.
eBay employees. It was two of them, and
Yeah.
they were stalking the couple that were harassing them through their support system. So they like found their address and were like stalking them, sent them live insects, send them bloody pig masks. Like it goes way deeper. Like
Oh, dude, that's so
super whack.
creepy. That's
Super
so
whack.
creepy. Oh
Dude,
my
you know how
God.
long I always think of this when people are angry for an extended amount of time. Do you know how angry you have to be angry for more than like a couple of days? Like to stalk people for like weeks or like send live insects 3 weeks after the initial interaction you had that was poor or something like that. I mean, you have to be such an angry person to not just be like, hey, I should probably not care about this. I should go into my job and just do my job again. That wasn't that big a deal. That guy just told me I sucked at support.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal, but people take things to heart. People take things personally. So shout out those eBay guys that got fired for sending live insects to people.
You fucking psychopath. That's badass.
All right. We're going to end this with an absolute bang. So we have conspiracy theory. We usually do our conspiracies every other Thursday, but there was a conspiracy theory this weekend that was just going rampant through all social media platforms. I mean, it was on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, it was going crazy. So I'm sure everybody's heard of this conspiracy theory, but Wayfair had a big like scandal, and it's been debunked already. So I'll preface it with that. Like it's been debunked as like Wayfair, and there was like apparently police were already involved and they debunked this theory, but people found on Wayfair's site that there were different, like, so say you were ordering a chair, there was the same chair. So a chair was like $75. You could get the same chair, just a different color. And then the name of the chair was like a person's name. So it's like, say it's, just like a regular chair. And then it was like a Cindy chair. And then that chair was a different color, and it was like $10,000 more than the other chair. And so you look it up, and then you look up the SKU number, and you had to go to like a Russian site apparently, but that SKU number would show then pictures of like little girls.
And they were missing, right?
Yep.
They were missing little girls. And so parents were like freaking out about this because they're like, oh my God, that's my daughter, and things like that over the weekend, because they were identifying these people in the sex trafficking ring. And so it's been debunked. So we got to start with that. Like we're not going to like, I don't know. We're not reporting that it's real or anything like that, but we do have to talk about it a little bit since we do have a conspiracy segment. So, I mean, how crazy is this? And I know it's been debunked, but what is your guys' thoughts on this whole way? I said earlier, where there's smoke, there's fire. Like it feels like there's way too much reality to some of these claims.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I've said this before with all these conspiracies, is like, I understand that there's conspiracies that like people have a hard time grasping, but when there's so many things of the same thing over and over and over again, like obviously something's going on. So you have Wayfair that comes out with this whole scandal, and then they tie it to Pizzagate. Then they tie it to Jeffrey Epstein. Then they tie it to Ghislaine Maxwell. And Maxwell is currently on suicide watch, quote unquote.
Yeah, so Ghislaine Maxwell has a court date in 2 days. So everybody's trying to connect the dots here of like, why did this go viral the weekend before? She's on trial on a Wednesday.
Yep.
Did she talk to the FBI? Was there things that were leaked from the police department that she was talking to like get less time or whatever? Is she cooperating? Man, I mean, there's so many levels of this, and there's just it's too much to just look away from. Like just be like, oh, it's debunked. Okay, let's move on. Like that just feels like such a disingenuous take to have on this.
I say, well, what did you see that they said it was debunked on though? You know what I mean? Like
there was news outlets that were like, there was news outlets that were saying that the SKU numbers were like falsified, and the SKU numbers were like photoshopped, and those pictures of little girls were like actually just Google images. So they weren't actually like missing persons or whatever. But then like you go down the conspiracy rabbit hole even further, like it's not just the SKU numbers. It's not just the pictures of little girls. It's not like when when there's this sex ring, it's so complicated and there's so much money involved in this.
Mhm.
I mean, there was like Twitter threads that were like 120 messages deep about who was involved, like how they were doing it, things like that. And then just like to think that people are just sitting there on Twitter just making this up, that feels so stupid. I mean, maybe somebody is, but like, man, some of the evidence and some of the stuff that they were bringing up, how the ring was operating and things like that, and then tying it into Ghislaine Maxwell, there were so many like parallels. It's pretty crazy to ignore.
Why does it tie in so well? That's the thing that makes it so interesting, is that it ties into everything. Like if this was just like a separate deal on its own, it wouldn't have any ground to it.
Yeah.
But so the fact that it's tied to this person that's literally known for sex trafficking kids,
yeah,
that makes everybody like, what? No.
Didn't the CEO of Wayfair step down too?
Yeah, literally like the next day,
like,
didn't he?
Yeah, or something
I think
like that.
was one of the things that was debunked, is like apparently the CEO stepped down or was like planning on stepping down anyways, but the
because
like
they knew this was going to come out.
Yeah, counter argument to that is like the reason why it ties in. He has been pictured at parties with Ghislaine Maxwell.
Oh my god!
Oh,
so like,
dude,
he can step down or whatever, but like he has been pictured, and there has been board members of Wayfair pictured with Ghislaine Maxwell, and like I mean, if you go on Twitter, Wayfair is like heavily, like some of their top paid employees have been shown in the Florida Keys where Epstein was, and like they have deep family tie, even not direct family ties, like their uncle worked for the hedge fund or something like that and now worked for Wayfair. So that was one of the other like threads that you're seeing of like, it's not just the pictures, it's not just the skews, it's like all of a sudden you start connecting dots, and if 100 dots start being connected to Epstein and like Ghislaine Maxwell, and then circling back on like Pizzagate, that was again like kind of like Venn diagrammed into this whole thing. And you know, like in my mind, even if this all is separate, who cares if it's tied in? This is just so much evidence of sex trafficking and just horrific shit going on. I can't imagine that the FBI is like, I just like, it's such a lack of concern on so many people's parts that should be caring about this. There's just, I mean, we have had so much evidence of sex trafficking. Somebody has to step up and do something. I mean, so like legislation, more money, more resources. Like it's at this point, it's like embarrassing how much sex trafficking is going on in the United States that just is potentially just like, it's taking a conspiracy theory to be debunked for people to actually care about sex trafficking. That's sad to me. You know, like who cares about a conspiracy theory? Like there's people actually being sex trafficked. Like that's just a fact.
Well, the sheer numbers of how many people are being sex trafficked is I think is what is even worse. Like I think,
and it's just not in the U.S. too. Like
it's all over the world.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's unreal. Like this stuff's been going on for so long too. Like Epstein's shit started like early 90s.
Oh yeah.
And I guarantee you it's been going on long before that. Even with that documentary about that kid on the milk carton.
Yep.
That got stolen. And then he was literally tied to the Pizzagate deal. Like it was basically the same thing, but like earlier. And dude,
it was the same ring. It was like confirmed it was the same, the milk carton kid, and then the Pizzagate was like, and Pizzagate again has been debunked. And so like they say like that place, I forget the name of that place, but the pizza place has like, they're still getting harassed about all of this, and it's been debunked, but it just seems so convenient that all of these things get debunked so quickly. And again, like it may not be fully true, 100% true, but nobody just makes everything up, you know, like where there's like a little bit of truth, usually there's a little bit more than people like to see. So, you know, maybe they didn't sex traffic as many people, or maybe it wasn't as prolific, or maybe it didn't actually touch the White House or something. Like it still probably happened. You know, they still had evidence that this stuff was like going on, like money was exchanged to this pizza company for no reason. Like explain that, you know? So there's still,
because Hillary Clinton literally has a deposition against her for her 600,000 fucking deleted emails in September. And there's mention of Pizzagate. There's mention of her talking to the Pizzagate dude about pizza, quote unquote, using like different types of
It was code.
words. Yeah, it was code words. And this stuff's like, I think it's like open to the public. I'm pretty sure that they're going to declassify this at some point, but she has a hearing in September about this stuff. But I haven't seen anywhere except for like some of like the weird ass pages I follow on Instagram, but I literally haven't seen it on any mainstream news media place or anything like that. You know what I mean? So it's so weird how much this is tying in, and at such a convenient fucking time when we have coronavirus, we have the biggest race riot that we've had in like 100 fucking years. We've got people going off on all these conspiracies, and it's just like, just more things keep coming into this year, and it's so weird.
2020 needs to be over like so fast.
ASAP. Done with
so
this shit.
fast.
We need a reset. This is
I
over.
honestly, so like the new year can't come fast enough.
Mm-mm.
Seriously, I don't care if you can go in public New Year's Day or whatever. Like, we just need to click reset and do this over again, because 2020 was the worst. Absolutely the worst. So if you haven't followed like any of this conspiracy theory stuff, like we've talked about Ghislaine Maxwell, the Epstein stuff. That's for sure. I mean, we talk about Pizzagate again. It's been kind of like debunked. We talked about the Wayfair stuff. It's kind of been debunked. The one thing that we do know is, for 100% facts, is Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell are still absolute scumbags. So like, that is 100% confirmed. People have been deposed. People have testified against them. You know, that is real stuff. And that is coming up on the 15th of July. We lost our bets. We thought she would die before then, to be completely honest.
Hey man,
I'm still there, baby.
we got 2 days left, so let's just hold it out.
Yeah, Taylor, the meme that you sent us today.
Oh,
it was
dude,
like
that was
when
so
Ghislaine
funny.
Maxwell sees the red light on the video camera go out, and it's just her staring into the camera.
Oh, dude, I was laughing so hard at that. It's
Oh.
like, why is that got to be so true? I don't want it to happen.
Seriously.
I want her to go. I really, really want her to go to court, because I want to see what happens. I want to see where this goes, and I want to see who she rats out, if she rats out anybody.
I mean, the first one. I mean, the
Yeah.
biggest get would be Prince Andrew, right? Like,
Oh man,
it
He's
has to
got
be,
it.
right? He's got to be
There's-
number one on the list.
there's so much evidence against that dude that he literally did. He's got a picture with the chick that night.
Yeah,
Like,
and all these girls
what?
saying that they were with him. So I actually don't even know why it would take Ghislaine Maxwell to talk against him to have him arrested. Like, he should be arrested right now. There's just nothing else that needs to be done. The girls have said, I was 16. I was with Prince Andrew. Like, I was at this like orgy island, they called it. I was with Prince Andrew. Doesn't that like implicate him? Like, do these girls just, their voice just absolutely doesn't matter? It doesn't make any sense to me. So it's going to take Ghislaine Maxwell to rat on him to get arrested. That seems fishy, but we'll see. That is the tip of the iceberg. Also, like, her
Dude,
list.
I know.
I mean,
There's
she's bringing
so
the
much-
receipts, dude.
Yeah,
There-
so much shit that she could do. Like, I'm just so want to know. I just want to know so bad.
We'll see how it's handled, honestly, by the FBI, by the police departments, by just the government in general, because there's so many damning things that are going to come out. It's going to be crazy.
Dude.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's unreal.
All right, boys. Well, that's it for us. We're going to be back on Thursday. We're actually going to go a little bit deeper into the Way Out Here pod. So Thursday we're going to talk about why we started the pod. It's our 15th episode on Thursday. So we're going to celebrate 15 episodes by going a little bit deeper into kind of our personal lives here. So Matt, Taylor, and I will talk about some of the stuff that brought us on the podcast, how we met, things that everybody wants to know. And everybody's been asking, why did you guys do the pod together and certain things. So I'm excited to tell everybody, because it's pretty easy to us. But I'm sure that people that don't know us, or friends or family that don't know us, probably don't know why the heck 3 idiots are talking into a microphone talking about Ghislaine Maxwell. So I'm excited to do that. But as always, we're sponsored by Manscaped. You can go to manscaped.com, get 20% off plus free shipping if you use code WASHED. And again, we'll be here on Thursday.